So I got the privilege to be in the presence of the best cut man on the planet, Candyman. So for right now, if you didn't know,
now you know. Good man, good man. With Todd Medina, I'm gonna kind of do a little hand wrap session for him. So first, the way I do is I rub their hands first.
now Candyman, why is that you go over the hand and rub it down?
Just to loosen up their wrists up, because it's like anything else, your body's tight. So you just kind of, you don't have to spend an hour on it, just enough to get it, the fingers loose.
Now, Candyman, how long have you been wrapping hands?
Altogether, off and on, about 20-something years.
20-something years. You're not going to find less than a handful of guys that have mastered the art of wrapping hands.
And the way I normally do it, this is a pad that's already pre-made. But normally I use a little square, like maybe 3 inches by maybe 4 inches, so that way you don't have to do your wrap this way around your fingers, because your fingers tend to close. So what I do is I use this here as a guide to wrap my gauze. Okay? So what I'm going to do now, since I rubbed his hands, so I got a pre-made gauze. You have to make them in front of the commission, so whenever you're doing professional fights. So
why? Okay, so Candyman, why is that you have to do it in front of the commission?
because they want to make sure that you're not doing anything kind of shady or tricky or something. And everybody has their own style of wrapping hands. So my style is, I was taught by the best. It's Joe Chavez, rest in peace.
Oh man, love that man.
So what I do is I'll start with the thumb. We got our spectator right here. So then you want to go up to the wrist about 4 times long.
So, Candyman, can you use any kind of gauze, or what's up with the commission?
You can use this gauze, which is considered from Title. It's called Old School, which is one of the better gauzes, because you can rip it instead of cutting it with your hands. So you go around like 4 or 5 times up on the wrist, and as you're working, you ask the fighter how you feel. Is that too tight or too loose? So that way you can adjust it as you go along. Because I've had fighters where they, at the end of the wrap, they're, oh, it's too tight, so then you got to cut it, and you end up messing everything up.
Wow.
So that's kind of stable right there. So we'll go around the thumb again to protect the thumb.
That feels really good. Not tight, but just perfectly snug.
Okay, close your hand for a minute. How's that feel?
That feels so good. Feels like I want to punch somebody in the face.
Okay, so then we'll make the pre-knuckle pad that's already made. Open your hand.
So Candyman, why do you have your fighters close their hand?
Well, just to let me know how they feel.
Okay.
See, and as I'm wrapping underneath, like I can feel your skin to make sure it's not too tight. So that way, if we have to do adjustments, then we'll be okay. So we come over this way. Now, if you got a guy that's got big hands, then this is what you're gonna use. But since you got a guy that has decent hands, you kind of bring it down a little bit from here, come around.
Oh, it gives it more extra cushion, yeah?
Yes.
Padding?
Like I said, some guys have little hands, so you have to put bigger. How does that feel so far?
That feels really good.
Okay, close. How's that feel?
Oh, that's epic right there.
Okay, open. Okay, leave it closed again. Okay, so now what we'll do is come around the front and bring it here to the back. Come around again. And when I tell you to open it, you open your hand very slowly. Because a lot of guys have a habit of opening it and the pad falls off.
Gotcha.
So
it's important to listen to the guy.
Open slowly. There you go.
Wrapping your hands and working your corner.
Exactly. How does that feel, Todd?
That feels so good, Candyman. If you've ever had your hands wrapped by a pro, like somebody that actually knows how to do it, this is a real treat.
You could tell the difference.
Yeah. Like just from the second he touches my hand, like I know this is gonna be a good wrap job.
Okay, how's that feel so far?
That feels so good, Candyman.
So that's plenty of gauze right there. You don't want to overdo it. So can you see the inside? Okay, so what they do is we'll open this up here. Now you can make a big, what they call a bar. You can either make, MMA fighters usually have it like this.
Okay.
Boxers, that's about where you want to go.
Okay.
So you can get the glove in there.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
So wider for a boxer, correct?
Pardon me?
Wider for a boxer?
Yes, it depends. You know, if a guy has big hands, well, you of course want to make it a little smaller so you can get his hand in there.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so you
Okay.
turn around. And then what I do is I normally put this white tape underneath. I don't want to say why, but because I don't want to, you know, this is a customer that I get tape from, so just put one around there to hold it. It comes off. Turn your hand. So now we'll put on what they call suspenders.
Suspenders.
Okay. That's these that go right here. So we're gonna go in a little bit further just because you're an MMA guy, so we're gonna wrap you like an MMA guy.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so go ahead and close your hand. Turn. Okay, then you come down, push this down as you pull up.
Oh, so the pad doesn't move?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dan, can I borrow you for a moment?
Yes, sir.
Right here. Okay, so if I need to buy any of this gauze or wrap, where's the best place to buy it?
Fight Shop.
Fight Shop?
Obviously, the Fight Shop, or your
Where are you located?
your nearest Fight Shop, obviously. But if you're here in Southern California or you want to get shipped, you can do it here in Whittier, California, 11555 Whittier
Same
Boulevard,
thing. Push down.
or
with this.
1062 Vine Street in Hollywood.
Oh, it's by Freddie's gym.
Freddie Roach's gym, right across the street. Yes, sir.
Okay, and like Dan said, they will ship and do ship, correct?
100% ship internationally. And in case when you do come in the store, if you ever run into pros in the business, like example A or example B, these guys are always around to give you their time and their knowledge, which is
Okay, close. How's that feel?
definitely worth $1 million. That's for sure.
Feels okay so far?
This feels so good. And not too many people know this because I keep this on the down low so I can... sometimes I'm making money, sometimes not. But if you need custom bags, like get a hold of me because they can make them and ship them.
That's
If you,
our man.
if you don't, usually it's good to buy it split, but it's kind of hard to get sometimes. So
Okay.
what you normally do is you can use a regular, what is it, 1 inch tape.
Okay.
Stick it in, then just twist it.
Oh, got it.
Like this.
Okay.
See, this is more into an MMA hand because they got
Yeah.
little gloves.
Okay, that feels really good.
Okay.
Or, man, can't even...
And then I'll put one like this. Does it feel too tight anymore?
Wow, no, but I like that. That feels really good, Kenny.
Okay, so see, if there's any problem where it's too tight, there's going to be 3 places.
Okay,
It's going to be right in the wrist,
okay,
the thumb, or the pinky.
gotcha.
3 places only.
Okay, I don't feel that feels so
And
good.
there's ways to adjust that.
Okay,
So go ahead and close your hand. Now we're going to do the final touch.
thanks. Sir. It really does make a huge difference. Like I've been in other countries where they've had their own corner guy, and he'd end up wrapping my hands, and it was terrible. And that's the worst, getting in a cage or a boxing ring, knowing that your hand's not wrapped how it should be. Thanks, sir.
Appreciate that. Yeah, come on around the outside. Absolutely.
So, that feels so good already?
Yeah. Yeah, when you get this done correctly, there's nothing like it.
How's it feel?
This feels so good, Candyman.
Close a minute. Does it feel not too tight?
Yeah, no.
Okay, turn. We'll fix that up. Go ahead and turn it back.
Like that's another big thing too, is when they lock in the thumb. I've had that done to where they put way too much pressure and it's like cutting the circulation off.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Right?
where you gotta check that.
Okay. Yeah, it's cutting off circulation or you can't use it. And boxing, I mean, it's kind of, you can get away with it, but MMA, because we use it so much.
Yeah, because you gotta remember, MMA, you grapple, and in the state of California, you can only go an inch behind the knuckles. So close your hand.
Damn, bro. Nice to
So
meet you.
we'll go, after a while you get the knowledge of more or less where you don't have to get a tape to measure it, but that's about it. Go ahead and close, open to me. How's that feel?
That feels so good, Candyman. Here's the thing, it's a treat. I had to come in here and pick up some gloves and gauze and such and run it into Candyman. So like there's like basically 60 years between the both of us that we've been in the sport, like combat sports. Like somebody to come in here, you can get any question answered that you had.
So what we do now is we're gonna trim it off a little bit and take care of this.
When we get done with this, I'm going to show you how my palm is open, which is a big deal for MMA guys, and it's not easy to do correctly.
I'm not gonna talk about this tape too much here because me and you know why, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is just as a test.
Yeah, and you definitely kind of get what you pay for.
Exactly.
From your equipment, your gear, to your coaching, your cornerman.
I'm gonna give you all my scissors, but
Yeah.
there's ways to keep your scissors sharp as you use them. So right now, how does that feel?
That feels amazing. That feels
Close your
amazing.
hand for a minute. Over my hand.
Oh,
See, and what I do is I push this down to make sure
Wow.
it's stable. So when you put the glove on, it's not gonna bring the pad back. You see what I'm saying?
yes, sir. Oh, wow, Candyman. Yeah.
So that's okay. So it's not too tight.
No, sir.
Okay, now we're gonna do the final touch, which is a different brand of tape, but it sticks better.
We had war tape. That's what Candyman's using right now. Helped one of my fighters, who's the state champ right now, with quite a bit of tape. So shout out to war tape. I really like it.
Yes, sir.
It tears,
War tape is
right?
very good. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you have the opportunity, I know there's been some times where I really needed it, but they've been sold out. I'm like, ugh. So have that stuff like stashed under your bed or somewhere. Because sometimes when they're out, they're out.
How's that feel?
That feels so good, Candyman.
Okay, open.
And I'm gonna put a glove on after this.
You tell me how it feels.
That feels amazing. Yeah, it's a big deal to, and some guys don't know the difference because they've really never fought or they don't know the difference. If you never had like a good, yeah. It's like you don't know what you don't know, but once you get somebody that wraps you in, oh, that's really good.
Okay, so we'll take care of this right now, but I'm going to finish up here.
Okay, let's do that.
Go ahead and close your hand for it.
How much are those?
I got them at $14.99.
$14.99.
Okay, open.
How much am I? You know what's funny? My cousin told me. You guys like a big
I'm just doing this a little slow so that people can see how we rap.
Yeah, Candyman made a good point. He was going slow, so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. But when I'm in the back getting ready to fight, like to be able to sit and talk and hang out and possibly get a story or two from somebody like Candyman, I'm cool with that. So I'm never, me personally, I'm never in a rush to get my hands wrapped.
If you want them done right, that's the best thing is just to be calm and let the hand wrapper do his job. As of right now, how does that feel?
This feels amazing.
Kind of rub this over because you might have some air spots.
Yes, sir.
And this tape is, for me, is one of the better tapes that I use. So we'll go ahead and take care of this. And like I said, if there's ever a, see, now if your hand feels a little tight here, what we do is we go ahead and cut a little bit so it'll open it up. Do you feel it open up?
Yeah. Wow, that was crazy.
So see, because it's tight, so what we do is we'll go ahead and trim it off.
I give it to you at a better rate too.
Candyman had cut probably 3/4 of an inch, maybe an inch down inside my palm, I mean on the tape, but it made a big difference on
You can
opening it
feel
up.
it, yeah.
You can definitely feel it.
This is the final, okay?
Wow.
So we're done.
That's so good.
So how does that feel?
This feels amazing.
If you notice, you see I'm always asking you, how does that feel?
Yeah.
Because if you were to tell me right now, hey, it's a little too tight over here, well, when I cut it, it's gonna come apart.
Yes, sir.
So it's like basically starting all over. So with the experience that I have, if I was to do that, let's just say it's tight in here. Okay, you got blood circulating, so it's good.
Yeah.
But if it's tight here, what I would do is I would cut this, open it up until you feel, oh, okay, it's good.
Yes, sir.
Then I'll tape it again, but not tight, just enough to sit on it. Okay. Your thumb, how's your thumb feel?
It feels amazing.
Okay. Now here, like say for instance, this is a little too tight.
Okay.
Okay. So, in my experience, what I would do is I put, because you can't put tape over the knuckles. That's for
Understood.
sure.
Yes, sir.
So what you could do is put a little piece of tape here. And what I do, I always have a little thing of Vaseline, and I put the Vaseline on the tip, not a whole lot, and then I cut this part here where it's tape. At the same time, it keeps your scissors sharp, and it's easier to cut. Because I've seen guys that are really trying to,
Yeah.
you know, how they feel.
That's amazing.
It's good.
Candyman, thank you, sir, very much.
Good.
Like, this is a privilege and a blessing to me to be able
Thank
to
you.
have this man wrap my hands and then to be able to let him, you know, us videotape it. So I'm going to put all of Candyman's information down in the link. If you're a promoter and you need a great corner guy, by all means, he's your guy.
Come on, Candy, you're fucking Picasso. Every time you
Yeah,
work
some
here.
Picasso stuff right here.
It's amazing.
Does it feel good though?
It
It's
feels
not-
so good.
I mean, like I even tell the fighters, don't lie to me because it's your hands. I don't feel what you feel.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? So if you might say, oh, you know what, coach, it's a little tight here. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll cut this open and then I'll tape it again, but I won't pull. I'll just lay it on there.
Gotcha.
So that way you be, see now, if you were to grapple, you can
Yeah.
grapple. Okay, if you wanted to throw a punch, you
Yeah.
throw a punch.
Now,
Yeah.
Candy, that's the same kind of wrap you would do for an MMA glove, or is it anything?
This is MMA right now, but for boxing, you can go a little bit higher on the wrist, and then you can go a little bit wider in the bar. The reason I leave it this open is because he's got to be able to grapple.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially
Get that
if
wrist
you get-
control.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that hand is open, so you can grapple your butt off of that thing and punch. He's got like the perfect amount of
Yeah.
padding on that knuckle.
Exactly, because see, you don't want, see when you put your, the reason I always do this, close, and I push down, because when you go to put in the glove, this has a tendency to go back.
Pop up, yeah.
But see, some guys do it differently. This is my way of doing it. And it seems to be working for many years for me, so.
Yeah, this is no joke.
But yeah,
That's
so
what it is, Candy. Thank you.
you're welcome. Or you just cut it off and you're gonna
No,
hang
no,
on
no,
to
I'm
it?
gonna put a glove on real quick, but
Oh,
then
okay.
yeah. So I'm gonna put a glove on and show you exactly what he was talking about. Like I can put my glove or put my hand in the glove and out of the glove, and this wrap's still gonna look the same. Because I've had that done too, where you put it on and you can feel the whole wrap
The whole
slide
wrap
up.
come back.
I'm like, what? Then your knuckles to have no padding whatsoever. It's on top of your hand. And then you kind of leave it in there, and then when you pull it back out, like the whole wrap comes off your hand, and it's just like,
Yeah, everybody has their own way of wrapping. This is my way.
yeah, this is,
You know, and the reason I put the white tape underneath is just to hold it together.
yes, sir.
And then we finish off with this.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yeah.
good, man.
Thank you, King Man. I appreciate it.
Also, you'll never meet a man that'll thank you as many times as this guy.
Okay, so we're gonna break this down. There's two companies I so like so much. The boxing glove, we're gonna use Rival. For the better part of 25, 30 years, I was using a Mexican style brand boxing glove, but they just completely was so disrespectful to three different families that didn't know each other that bought brand new gloves. It was like $225 per glove. And all three gloves had a blowout, like the first or second time they used them. And then they went back to get an exchange or something, and the company didn't honor anything about it. Some of them, the leather ripped, some of the stitching came undone. So yeah, we're done with those guys. But Rival, so we started jumping over to Rival, and I really enjoy these gloves. They work really well. Probably a good 10, 12 of my guys are using these right now. I have a couple pairs, so good glove. Hayabusa, I also like this. Great glove, lasts forever, a good customer service.
Grapple.
Yeah, you can get your grapple on with this thing. Yeah, that set, you see it's all open in there. So the hand, you can grapple, like you could just straight not even throw a punch and grapple with that thing. This thing's money. But the padding on the knuckles, perfect.
Does it feel okay?
It's so good, you just want to like punch somebody in the face.
Again?
Or the
mine?
liver.
I'm good. I don't need to be on the receiving end
Yeah.
all the time.
So there you go. Now watch, when I pull this off, the wrap's gonna look the same as it did when I first put it in. And you know what? Both these guys made a really good point. When you're a coach, or if you don't already, you're gonna hold it, your coach is gonna hold it, and you're gonna put your hand in pushing down, which not too many people
the
know.
coach is pulling up.
Yeah, the coach pulls, as much as he pulls, you push, so it stays even.
I see guys put the glove right here, just put it like that.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah,
know.
also I think if you do that too, you get that lopsided, your knuckle guard kind of slides
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
Okay, so here we go. Good to go. Put a pair of these Rivals on. Now these are 8 ounce, 10 ounce?
8 ounces.
Yeah, 8 ounce gloves.
So
So this is not.
we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna push in. You see, you've got big hands, so.
There.
If this guy's got an 8 ounce glove on, don't be on the receiving end. Just walk yourself out the ring. Do a
How's that?
favor. Do yourself a big favor.
Almost? Okay. Push.
Make sure it's a good 12, 14 ounce glove.
The pad move.
No, we're
See,
good.
now you
We're good.
push this forward on my chest.
Okay.
Okay, and then we want to wrap this. That way the glove stays right where you put it at.
Right on. If you like throwing hands. Okay, so if you are 147 and above, you're wearing a 10 ounce glove. Under 147, you're wearing an 8 ounce glove. So other than the Velcro, this is the glove you would wear, kind of thing.
8 ounce,
This is it,
yeah.
8 ounce glove. Imagine, so with that wrap that this man just did in an 8 ounce glove, you know how much, like, do not be on the receiving end of one of these things. Like, yes, you're just asking for
Yeah,
it.
we want to
So,
try it.
That's Todd specific. I know that for a fact.
No.
You do not want to be on the receiving end of his.
Yeah.
No
So we're good.
fun.
I'd like to thank the Fight Shop. We're in Whittier. I'd like to thank Dan.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Candyman for taking the time out of his day to
Thank you,
let
Todd,
me tape all
anytime.
this. I'd like to thank Rival. I'd like to thank Hayabusa. So if you have other questions, if you have comments, if you need gear, here's your store. If you need a world-class cutman, cornerman, there you go there. So if you have questions, let me know. But Candyman, for right now, if you didn't know,
Now you know,
Now you know.
Candy! Now you know.
so which video do you want to watch? You want to watch that video? You want to watch that video? You know, that one's really good. But on the other hand, that one helps the video you just saw.